The Inquisitorius was a group of Force-sensitive Jedi hunters that worked for the Galactic Empire. Its members were all former Jedi who had fallen to the dark side. Some did so willingly in a quest for more power, others were captured and tortured into servitude. Their primary mission was to hunt down and destroy any Jedi survivors of Order 66. Their secondary objective was to collect Force-sensitive children for Project Harvester so they could be trained as the next generation of agents of the Empire. The Inquisitors were given leadership over elite stormtroopers called Purge Troopers that were specially trained to combat Jedi. Their ranks were initially made up of clone troopers, but were phased into stormtroopers in the years following Order 66. The Inquisitors' base was a massive fortress located on the ocean moon Nur in the Mustafar system, just around the corner from Darth Vader's castle. Every member of the Inquisitorius answered to the commands of the Sith Lord. The Grand Inquisitor was the leader of the Inquisitorius, and he reported directly to Darth Vader. He was a Pauan and a member of the Jedi Temple Guard during the Clone Wars. Despite his status, he was denied certain knowledge hidden within the Jedi archives, and his desire for power led to his fall to the dark side and alignment with Darth Sidious seemingly before the fall of the Jedi. It's possible there were no guards to protect the Jedi Temple during Order 66 because he betrayed and murdered his colleagues before Darth Vader's attack. He then led the Inquisitorius for 15 years until the Padawan Kanan Jarrus revealed himself in the Lothal sector. The Grand Inquisitor took charge of the hunt and captured him, but was killed shortly after during Kanan's rescue. However, his spirit was somehow kept under the will of Darth Vader, who imprisoned him in a Jedi outpost from the time of the High Republic, where he served as a trap for anyone foolish enough to enter. Luke Skywalker encountered the tortured soul of the Grand Inquisitor 7 years after his physical death. The second sister was originally a Jedi Padawan named Trilla Siduri. She and her master, Cere Junda, initially escaped Order 66 with a handful of younglings. Cere attempted to lead the Empire away from her apprentice, but was captured and tortured until she gave up the location of those she was meant to protect. Trilla was captured and tortured herself until she broke, fell to the dark side, and became the second sister. She held on to her hatred of Cere for years, and eventually crossed paths with her old master once more as they both raced to find a holocron containing a list of undiscovered Force-sensitive children. Trilla recovered the list for the Empire, but was bested in combat on Nur by another Jedi survivor named Cal Kestis, allowing Cere an opening to convince her Padawan to let go of her hatred. Unfortunately, her turn was short-lived when Darth Vader arrived, cutting Trilla down for her failure. The third sister was a youngling named Reva at the time of Order 66. She was present for Anakin's attack on the temple, where she was stabbed and left for dead. Her hatred for Skywalker gave her the strength to survive, and at some point she joined the Inquisitorius as part of a plan to get close to Darth Vader to take her revenge. Over the course of 10 years, she worked her way through the ranks and briefly gained the title of Grand Inquisitor after tracking down Obi-Wan Kenobi. While Vader was distracted by his former master, Reva attacked him, but her assassination attempt failed and she was left for dead once more. Again, she clung to her hatred, and after learning about Anakin's son, Luke Skywalker, she traveled to Tatooine hoping to kill the boy, but she was able to stop herself from becoming the kind of person she had hated for a decade. She presumably left the Inquisitorius and the Empire. The fourth sister's true identity and species are currently unknown. She was present for the hunt for Obi-Wan Kenobi on the planets Daiyu and Mapuzo, as well as the Jedi Master's infiltration of the Fortress Inquisitorius on Nur. Her fate is also unknown, but at some point she was impersonated by a member of the Rebel Alliance during a rescue attempt from Vader's castle on Mustafar. The fifth brother was originally from the planet Artemisium. As a young Jedi, he was forced to stand by while the Republic Senate ordered his homeworld to be strip-mined for life-saving resources. His disillusionment with the Jedi Order and the Republic they served led to his fall to the dark side. He was one of the primary Inquisitors seen hunting Jedi Masters like Eth Koth and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like many of his colleagues, he had aspirations of one day claiming the title of Grand Inquisitor for himself. After the death of his superior, he joined the hunt for Kanan Jarrus, chasing the Jedi Knight and his Padawan Ezra Bridger all the way to Malachor. There he was killed by Maul, who had been stranded on the Sith planet. The sixth brother was perhaps the shortest-serving member of the Inquisitorius. His true name and species are currently unknown. He traveled to Mon Cala with Darth Vader, the ninth sister, and the 10th brother to find a Jedi in hiding named Farron Barr, but Farron was able to trigger the inhibitor chips in their clone Purge Troopers to execute Order 66 yet again. They attacked all Force sensitives in their sights, and the sixth brother wounded the ninth sister in order to escape. He was killed shortly after on the planet Rayata, where he encountered and dueled Ahsoka Tano. His lightsaber crystals were purified of the dark side energy, and they became the crystals used in Ahsoka's white lightsabers. The Inquisitor in Tales of the Jedi serves the same story purpose as the sixth brother in the Ahsoka novel. Their appearances greatly differ, but I personally consider them to be two different interpretations of the same character. The Seventh Sister was Amiri Allen. It's possible she could have been the Padawan of Aayla Secura, but at the very least we know she received some combat training from the Twi'lek Jedi Master. Early in her career, she had a rivalry with a fellow Inquisitor, the 13th Sister. After losing a sparring session against her opponent, the 7th Sister was inspired to use ID9 Seeker droids to aid her in combat as well as Jedi hunts. After a 16-year career, she was one of the final living Inquisitors who joined the hunt for Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger. She joined the Fifth Brother in the chase to Malachor, where she met her end at the hands of Darth Maul. The Eighth Brother was a Torellian Django jumper, a species known for their acrobatic abilities. He was one of the longest-serving Inquisitors, seen as a member of their ranks right after the fall of the Republic. 16 years later, his primary mission was to find and kill the former apprentice of the Emperor, Maul. The Eighth Brother tracked his prey to Malachor, but got more than he bargained for when Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka Tano, the Fifth Brother, and the Seventh Sister all arrived as well. During a fight atop a massive Sith temple, his lightsaber was damaged, and he witnessed the deaths of his fellow Inquisitors. The Eighth Brother attempted to fly away using his lightsaber, but the weapon broke, causing him to fall to his supposed death. The Ninth Sister was an imposing Dewutin originally named Masana Tide. She likely did not willingly join the Inquisitors because she mentions being isolated, tortured, and mutilated until she agreed to serve the Empire. On a mission to Mon Cala, the Sixth Brother cut off her leg and left her for dead, but she survived the betrayal and was given a cybernetic leg. She worked alongside the Second Sister to find and destroy the Jedi survivor Cal Kestis, who she dueled on Kashyyyk at the top of the Origin Tree. Cal cut off one of her arms and pushed her over the edge, another near-death experience that she survived. She received a cybernetic arm and once again faced Cal Kestis on Coruscant, where she was beheaded in a duel. The 10th Brother was originally a Mira Luca Jedi named Proset Dibs. Near the start of the Clone Wars, he joined Mace Windu on a mission to the planet Hisric. When he realized the Republic was more concerned with securing the planet's resources than the well-being of its citizens, he attacked Windu in anger. He was defeated and imprisoned, placed on work duty in the Jedi Temple for rehabilitation. During that time, he was likely completely turned by Palpatine to become an Inquisitor. About 1 year after the end of the Clone Wars, the 10th Brother accompanied Darth Vader on a mission to Mon Cala to hunt a surviving Padawan named Farron Barr. The Jedi used the Force to reactivate Order 66 in the Inquisitor's clone purge troopers, who then opened fire on all Force sensitives in the area. The 10th Brother was shot and killed in the confusion, experiencing the same fate as his former Jedi brethren. The 13th Sister was originally a Picorian Jedi Knight named Iskat Akaris. She struggled to find her place in the Jedi Order as a youngling and a Padawan after an incident in which she lost her temper and control of the Force, injuring a fellow student. But when the Clone Wars began, Jedi generals were needed to lead clone troopers, and so she was promoted to the rank of Jedi Knight prematurely, alongside Anakin Skywalker and several other Padawans. She found herself to be gifted in combat and violence, a trait that the Jedi Council often chastise her for. By chance, Iskat caught the ear of Chancellor Palpatine and expressed her frustrations to him. When Order 66 was activated in her clone troopers, they held their fire, and a holographic message from Darth Sidious offered her the chance to join the Inquisitorius. She accepted willingly and served for 5 years. During that time, she developed a relationship with a fellow Inquisitor named Tualon. When Darth Vader learned of it, he executed them both. Speaking of Tualon, he was a Twi'lek Inquisitor whose designation is currently unknown. He was a good friend of the 13th Sisters when they were both still Jedi Knights. They were together when Order 66 was activated in their clone troopers. The 13th Sister was given the opportunity to live and join the Inquisitors, which she accepted, leaving Tualon for dead. But he survived the initial attack through his rage at his friend's betrayal. He was taken to the Inquisitors' headquarters, where he was tortured and broken until he joined them. Having fallen to the dark side, he enjoyed a complicated love-slash-hate relationship with the 13th Sister until it was discovered by Darth Vader, who executed them both. Marrok was most likely the longest living member of the Galactic Empire's Inquisitorius. His true identity, species, and even his designation are all currently unknown. We've never seen him during the reign of the Empire, but we do know that after the Imperial surrender and the rise of the New Republic, Marrok became a mercenary working for the Night Sister Morgan Elsbeth, who plotted to herald the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Under her command, Marrok dueled Ahsoka Tano twice, first on Corellia during the theft of a hyperdrive, and second on the planet Cetos to buy time for Elsbeth's escape. During the second fight, Marrok was struck down. As he died, a cloud of green mist escaped his lightsaber wound. It's possible, though not confirmed, that Marrok could have been killed long ago and was kept reanimated by Morgan Elsbeth's Night Sister magic. Finally, we have 2 more Inquisitors that may or may not be strictly canon, but they're still worth mentioning. One was created for the Ghosts of Dathomir adventure module in the Force and Destiny role-playing game. She secretly took a Night Sister as her apprentice until the Night Sister betrayed and murdered her. The Star Wars Vision short T. Obi-Wan included a Jedi hunting character wearing black armor and a cape. He wielded a red lightsaber and flew the same model of TIE fighter as the Inquisitors. He is only called an Inquisitor in the credits, and Star Wars Visions is definitely not canon, but still, I wanted to bring him up. And those are all the known Inquisitors in Star Wars canon for now. It seems like every year we learn more about these existing characters, and we get new ones like Marrok. There are still some Inquisitor spots we need filled in, like the 11th and 12th brothers or sisters. Maybe Tualon or Marrok could go there, but with the naming convention we have no clue how many Inquisitors there really are, so I expect I'll have to update this video again eventually. Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade also makes it pretty clear that there were certainly more Jedi chosen for the program that died during torture. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.